Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're diving into something pretty fundamental today. A question, really. Are you a predator or prey in life? Now, that sounds intense, but stick with us. Are you reacting, following rules you never really examined? Or are you, actively shaping things?
It's a crucial distinction because most people, unconsciously, they're programmed more like prey.
Following along, feeling kind of stuck, maybe like a piece on someone else's board.
Exactly. And our mission today is to unpack what we're calling the predator mindset.
And let's be clear, this isn't about harming others. Not at all.
No, definitely not. It's about becoming proactive, strategic, the orchestrator of your own life.
Taking control of your realities, like this hidden code elite performers use.
And we want to show you how to potentially rewrite your own script.
Okay, so where does this prey programming even come from?
Well, it starts basically from birth. We absorb these scripts, from family, media, society.
Messages all around us.
Right. And often those messages are about playing it safe, accepting limits, don't rock the boat.
Makes sense. Keep things predictable, manageable.
For the system, yeah. But maybe not for your peak performance, for your individual success. It's like running on default settings.
So how do we even start to see these settings, let alone change them? Where do we begin?
A key part is understanding a piece of your own brain, the reticular activating system.
The RAS.
Ah, the RAS. Okay, I think I've heard of this. It's like a filter, right?
Exactly. It's your brain's secret filter determining what you notice and what just fades into the background.
Like the classic example, you decide you want, say, a red sports car.
And boom, suddenly they're everywhere you look.
Because your RAS is now tuned to spot them. It flags them as relevant based on your focus.
Precisely. Now think about how this applies to mindset.
Okay.
If someone's RAS is kind of attuned to expect struggle or limitations,
They'll filter out the opportunities, literally not see them.
that's the idea. They miss things that don't fit the expected pattern. But elite minds, think FBI profilers seeing tiny behavioral tells.
Or fighter pilots spotting a threat split seconds faster. Or billionaire investors identifying non-obvious market patterns. They've trained their RAS.
Oh.
They consciously, or through intense training, tune it to scan for advantages, for winning moves, for patterns others are completely blind to. They're filtering reality differently.
Wow. So you're actively shaping your perception.
Uh-huh.
But it's not just perception, is it? These people, they don't just react better.
No, they anticipate. They try to shape the game itself. Which brings us to second-order thinking.
Okay, break that down. First order is just, if I do this, that happens.
Right. Simple cause and effect. Second order is, well, it's more complex. If I do X, what are the immediate and the ripple effects? How will others react to X? And what's my next move based on their likely reaction?
Thinking multiple steps ahead, like chess masters.
Exactly. Grandmasters, top CEOs, they're calculating way down the line, trying to foresee, even force outcomes.
But how do you do that under pressure? Thinking 10 moves ahead seems slow when things are happening fast.
Ah, that's where frameworks come in, like the ODA loop.
Observe, orient, decide, act. Used by fighter pilots, right?
And FBI agents, special forces, it's about processing information incredibly quickly and effectively. Observe the situation.
Gather the data.
Orient, this is crucial. It's not just seeing, it's interpreting based on experience, biases, goals, making sense of it fast.
Then decide and act.
Yeah.
And the loop repeats instantly.
Allowing them to cycle faster than an opponent, getting inside their decision cycle.
It sounds very analytical.
Yeah.
Is there an emotional component too? Dealing with fear, stress?
Huge component. Elite performers don't suppress fear or stress. They channel it.
How fear feels like? Well, fear.
But physiologically, intense fear and high excitement are surprisingly similar, that adrenaline rush.
Okay, yeah.
Elite minds learn to reframe that physical stress response. They label it as focus, as fuel. It sharpens their senses, speeds up reaction time, if managed.
Managed how?
Techniques like box breathing, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Snipers use it. Athletes.
To override the panic response.
Yeah.
Stay in control.
Exactly. Maintain cognitive function under extreme duress. It's about emotional mastery, not absence of emotion.
Which leads, I guess, to the idea of actively rewriting things, the cognitive override.
That's it. It's about tactical reprogramming, not just wishful thinking, but deliberately choosing a different mental pathway, overriding an automatic, maybe negative response.
How does that start?
First, you have to audit your reality. Question the rules you follow. Where did they come from? Who benefits? Are they actually serving you?
Identifying those invisible chains.
Yeah. Are they societal norms, outdated beliefs, rules you just accepted without thinking? Challenge them.
And then you shift. You adopt a command mindset. Stop hoping for things to work out. Start commanding the outcome internally.
Acting as if.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Like a pilot entering combat assumes control. That certainty shapes their actions. Act as if your goal is already achieved. Align your internal state, your focus, your RAS tuning with that desired reality. Your actions will start to follow.
So it's about realizing reality isn't fixed. Precisely. It's more like a game, and it can be influenced, even hacked. You aren't necessarily trapped. Maybe you've just been playing by rules that weren't designed for your win.
But the tools, perceptions, strategy, emotional control, they're available.
They are. The choice to use them is yours.
So the final thought for everyone listening. What actually happens when you stop just reacting to life and you start consciously, deliberately creating it?
That ultimate move. It's up to you to make.
Okay, so have you ever felt just completely drained? Maybe taken for granted, or like your personal power is just, slipping away somehow? So many of us are constantly giving, right? Always available, always on call.
Yeah.
But what if the real way to get that power back isn't about like chasing things or explaining yourself all the time?
What if it's something else?
What if it's actually in pulling back, choosing silence?
Right. And crucially, this isn't about manipulation. It's not playing games.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's more of a fundamental psychological thing.
Right.
We tend to value what's less available. Simple as that, really.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to really dive deep into that, help you shift from being constantly reactive to finding genuine sovereignty.
Sovereignty, I like that.
Yeah, by looking at the psychology behind, being too emotionally available and the power of using silence strategically. We'll even touch on some ideas from thinkers like Carl Jung.
Great. So let's start there. The cost of being constantly available. How does that make us more like a utility than, someone in a real connection?
Well, think about it. If you're always there, always responding instantly, always fixing, your presence just becomes expected. It's taken for granted, not necessarily appreciated in the same way.
Okay, so that unchecked emotional availability,
Yeah.
it kind of becomes leverage for other people. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. It's a subtle influence, a power dynamic, and often nobody even consciously realizes it's happening.
Wow.
And interestingly, this often leads to what you could call emotional predictability. People start connecting with your patterns, not always your authentic self.
So it's like the relationship becomes a kind of programming.
Pretty much. If you're always the fixer or the soother, that role, that becomes a kind of performance of word.
A performance.
Yeah, and they're not truly holding you, the person.
Yeah.
They're holding on to your function, what you do for them. It's a dynamic, sure, but it's not necessarily deep intimacy.
That really makes sense. Okay, but pulling back. Silence. I think a lot of people worry that feels, manipulative or passive-aggressive.
That's a fair concern.
How do we make sure it's a strategic rebalancing thing, not just like shutting down?
Okay, think about this, maybe a relatable example. A group chat. You usually reply right away.
Instantly.
But then one time, you just don't. No big explanation, no justification. You just pause.
Okay.
That silence, it becomes a signal. People notice the energy, the power dynamic, it rebalances a little.
Yeah, I can see that. You definitely notice when the usually responsive person goes quiet. You wonder what's up.
Right. It's surprisingly effective. You don't always need to argue or explain to make your point. Sometimes the most commanding thing you can do is just nothing.
Just be still.
Precisely. And that's how you start reclaiming personal power. Here's a key insight. People often don't fear your anger as much as they fear your neutrality, your withdrawal.
Neutrality. Interesting.
Carl Jung talked about the persona, that sort of mask we create to navigate social stuff.
Right, the public face.
When we pull back into strategic silence, we start to separate ourselves from that mask, which, honestly, can sometimes feel like a prison if we wear it too long.
Okay, so this leads right into protecting our energy then. Moving from just reacting all the time to that sovereignty you mentioned. I like thinking of your time, your energy, as your soul's currency.
That's a great way to put it.
If you're constantly over-giving,
Yeah.
it's like you've got this auto-renew subscription of your energy going out, but you never check the balance.
Yeah, and you end up depleted. And guess what? That attracts people who expect that boundaryless version of you. They get used to it.
Right. And we need to remember being a martyr isn't some kind of moral high ground. It's actually, it's abandoning yourself.
Profound self-abandonment. And this brings up that distinction, reactivity versus sovereignty. Every time you overreact, that's like a power outage in your own internal system.
A power outage.
And emotional discipline, it isn't about being cold or uncaring. It's conservation. It's managing your resources wisely.
So those triggers, the things that set us off.
You might connect them to the shadow, those hidden, unprocessed bits of ourselves. Triggers aren't just threats, they can be teachers.
Teachers? How so?
They point directly to those unexamined wounds or vulnerabilities. Mastery isn't never reacting. It's being able to meet your reaction with enough awareness to decide how you want to respond instead of just being swept away by it.
Okay, that's empowering.
No.
So what's the path forward? How do we actually do this? You mentioned lucid silence and sacred isolation.
Yeah, lucid silence is like finding a quiet vantage point.
Yeah.
From there, you can observe not just what's happening outside, but your own patterns, your habitual reactions.
Seeing yourself more clearly.
Exactly. And sacred isolation, it's not about cutting everyone off forever. It's about intentionally pulling back from the noise, the demands, to reconnect with your actual self.
Remembering who you are when nobody needs anything from you.
Right. Who are you then?
Yeah.
This links back to Jung's idea of individuation.
Individuation, becoming whole.
Becoming whole, yes. Stepping out of the roles other people or society impose on you. Differentiating your true essence from all the conditioning we pick up.
Okay.
Ultimately, you are not here just to be a utility. You're not meant to be accessed purely on demand. You're here to exist fully, imperfectly, unapologetically.
So this whole deep dive, it really boils down to a fundamental shift, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Moving away from performing for validation.
Mm-hmm.
And instead embodying your own truth. And sometimes that means conscious withdrawal, using silence, being not just doing to prove you're worthy.
Exactly. And maybe here's a final thought, something for you to really chew on.
Okay.
When love gets tangled up with utility, with what you do for someone, then silence starts to feel like a threat. Stillness becomes suspicious. Even just resting can feel like an act of rebellion.
Wow.
So ask yourself, what actually remains when you stop performing? When you, maybe just for a moment, take off the mask? Who stays? Who really cares for you?
Welcome to the deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're diving into a really fascinating set of sources.
Yeah, they really challenge how we think about what's possible, don't they?
They absolutely do. We're exploring how your own reality might be, well, more influenced from the inside than you might realize.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission here is to look at how maybe certain unconscious patterns can keep you feeling a bit stuck.
But also, and this is the key part, how you can actually reclaim some control.
Exactly. By understanding your mind and this idea of energy around you. So, yeah, get ready for some interesting facts and some actual practical steps you can try.
It's compelling stuff. The sources suggest maybe you felt it sometimes, like your thoughts or maybe your emotions are kind of running on autopilot.
Yeah, like you can't quite pin down why things feel the way they do.
Right. And they propose that your subconscious is, well, it's like the main control center, constantly shaping things.
Okay, but the good news, according to these sources, is that you can engage with it. There are ways to steer things more deliberately.
Definitely. It's not about being stuck at all.
So let's start with this idea of the brain's hidden supercomputer. That's what the source is called.
It's a good analogy.
Your conscious mind, the bit paying attention right now, handles about, 40 bits of info per second?
Something like that, yeah. Tiny, relatively speaking.
But the subconscious.
Yeah.
Get this, 40 million bits per second.
40 million. That's a million times more processing power. Running constantly.
In the background, managing everything from like your heartbeat to filtering all the sensory stuff coming in, which basically builds your reality moment by moment.
And the crucial thing they point out is it doesn't really know the difference between something vividly imagined and something actually happening, right?
Exactly. They bring up athletes doing mental rehearsals.
Right. Training their brain, building those neural pathways just by imagining it without lifting a finger.
Which really shows how much power it has over our automatic responses, our habits,
So our inner world, real or imagined, actually has a tangible effect.
Okay. Now, building on that, the sources kind of broaden out. They talk about energy.
Right, and not in a mystical way. They're quite clear about that.
No, they frame it as basic physics. Everything, our bodies included, is just tiny particles buzzing with energy.
A fundamental force like gravity or electromagnetism. And they say our bodies are natural energy conductors.
Like copper wire, basically.
Yeah, that's the analogy. So the question becomes, can we consciously work with this energy?
And the sources argue, yes, anyone can learn to sense it, maybe even direct it. Start simple, like just noticing, say, tingling in your hands or feet.
That basic awareness. They give that example of Mike, the construction worker.
Oh, yeah, with the chronic back pain.
Right. By consciously focusing his sort of internal awareness, he healed much faster than doctors thought possible. It suggests a really strong mind-body link there.
It's a powerful story. And then they connect this to quantum physics ideas.
Which can sound complex, but they use it to illustrate interconnectedness.
Like quantum entanglement particles affecting each other instantly over distance.
Yeah, suggesting we're all part of this, like, interwoven web. Now, they're careful not to say our thoughts literally entangle with stuff out there.
Right, it's more of a metaphor.
Exactly. A metaphor suggesting our inner state creates ripples, influences what shows up for us, kind of like Jung's idea of synchronicity.
Those meaningful coincidences.
Okay, so pulling this together, the sources outline 3, let's call them, principles for quantum manifestation.
Okay, what are they?
First, energy follows attention. Simple enough, what you focus on grows stronger. Think about brain pathways strengthening.
Makes sense. What's second?
Second, energy matches frequency. Your inner state, your emotions, your thoughts tends to mirror your outer reality, like attracts, like, essentially.
Okay, and third?
Third, energy needs direction. You need clear goals. That focuses your internal power.
They mentioned Sarah, right? Starting her business.
Yeah, she used these principles, focused attention, kept her internal frequency aligned with success, and had very clear directed goals.
And this ties into neuroplasticity too, doesn't it? The brain changing itself.
Absolutely. Every thought changes your brain slightly. You can literally carve out new neural pathways.
Like clearing a new trail in a forest, they say, just by repeating small, intentional changes day after day.
And it's not just about positive stuff, even difficult emotions like anger or fear.
Yeah.
The sources say that's just pure energy. You can learn to accept it, then consciously redirect it, turn it into fuel.
Convert it into something positive. Interesting.
Which leads right into visualization. Quantum visualization, they call it.
Because the brain processes images way faster than words.
60,000 times faster, apparently. Yeah. So when you vividly picture a goal, your nervous system kicks in as if it's already real.
So how do you do that effectively?
Be specific with the goal. Add lots of sensory details, sights, sounds, smells, and crucially, feel the emotions. Feel gratitude as if it's already happened.
Feel it now. Got it. So, given all this theory, what are the practical tools they offer? How do we start?
They give a few concrete techniques, like the mirror method.
Looking in the mirror each morning and speaking your desired reality.
Yeah, speaking it to yourself and to your own eyes. Then there's reality scripting.
Writing it down in detail.
In the present tense, like it's happening now, engaging all the senses. Read it daily.
And pattern breaking.
Simple, but effective. Just change one small habit each week. Disrupts the old autopilot, builds new pathways.
Little changes creating space for bigger ones.
Exactly. And the key, they really stress this, is consistency.
Doing it regularly.
Yes. Use them together. Keep at it. Your brain likes the familiar, so you might feel some resistance.
Push back from the old patterns.
Right. But persistence builds those new pathways, creates momentum.
So wrapping up, the core message seems to be that you already have these, well, amazing natural abilities inside you.
Yeah, through your subconscious, through your energy, through focused intention.
And the science they reference, neuroplasticity and so on, it supports the idea that you can influence your state with practice.
Definitely. It's about actively participating.
Which leads to a final thought, perhaps?
Yeah, if your brain is constantly filtering reality, processing millions of bits every second to literally create your experience.
What clear, intentional signals are you sending it? What reality are you asking it to build?
Something to really consider. What instructions are you giving your own supercomputer?